Hi, Junior with today's thought. I'm recording this on Friday, 4 days from the election. You're seeing it on Monday, the day before the election. I think we can all agree, whatever side of the political aisle you're on, or if you're an independent such as myself, that it's going to be an important election. Now, I guess we're all waiting with bated breath to see what's going to happen. The polls seem to say it's going to be close. So who knows? Who knows? So we'll see what happens. But I do want to talk about something today, which I find very interesting and surprising, and pleasantly surprising if you're a conservative such as I am, which is the number of people that you would expect to vote Democrat who are supporting Donald Trump. We all know, well, to be fair, there are people going the other way, such as Dick Cheney and Lynn, Lynn Cheney, his daughter, saying that they're going, and George, well, we don't know George Bush, but one of his daughters, I forget which one, has said that she is supporting, going to vote for Kamala Harris, but those don't really surprise me. But I've seen so many surprises on the other side. Well, we all know RFK, Robert F. Kennedy. We all know Tulsi Gabbard. She was a Democrat, and by the way, she was a Democrat, then she was independent, and then she recently joined officially the Republican Party. Tulsi Gabbard is now Republican, but one that really surprised me, I'm going to show you a video. She'll speak for herself, but Naomi Wolf, if you don't know who she is, she's, as I say in the title to this today's thought, she's a liberal icon, very liberal, very left, or she still is on a lot of issues, but she's, well, to give you an idea of how much, at least she advised both Bill Clinton and Al Gore in their presidential campaigns. So she not only supports Democrats, but she has actively worked to support two Democrat presidential candidates. And, well, you can look her up on, just type her name into Amazon, Amazon.com, the search box, and you'll see all the books. She's written a number of books, and you can see they all are very left-wing, or they were her earlier ones. I don't know, maybe has already shown moving to the right in her most recent book. I honestly don't know, but she has just announced that she is endorsing Donald Trump. And I want to play the video of her doing that because, I'm going to throw one other thing in, just another fact. This one I didn't know. Well, Jake Paul, you all know who Jake Paul is, I guess, the boxer and the TikTok influencer. He has 20 million followers, and he just endorsed Donald Trump. It's an 18-minute video. I'm not going to show it to you. You can find it. Well, if you're one of those 20 million, you already know this. But I don't know him well enough to be surprised, except that he's a young guy. And anyways, I find that interesting. I won't say surprising. But getting back to Naomi Wolf, it's important, I think. That's why I call this a must-watch, to see why her reasoning, why she is supporting Donald Trump. It's very, very interesting, and I'll just let her speak right now. So here is Naomi Wolf.
But something happened the other day. Did you actually endorse President Trump?
This is a hard thing for me to do, but yes, I did. I'm saying it, it's public. Yes, I did. I posted and I sent to you in prison my tweet or my ex post saying, at a certain point you have to stop supporting the fascists. The people I voted for silenced my voice. They killed thousands of people, and they put the man who tried to help me save the lives of thousands of people in prison. And at a certain point, you just have to stand up for what's right.
But these are people you've worked with professionally. You've known them all your life since you were at Yale. How is that tell me how that works. How's something you believe so deeply? Was it the pandemic? Was it what happened in the vaccine? Is it what's happened over the last couple of years? What would actually take someone who was so renowned, really in kind of the feminist movement or the progressive movement, and now you're endorsing the arch?
I can't believe this moment
No,
has
the arch,
the great Satan,
the great Satan, the patriarch. I mean, Rachel Maddow's head's blowing up.
My head is blowing up.
What specifically drove you this? Because this was not a small thing.
No, it's huge, but it's a number of things, honestly. I mean, one of them is a good friend of mine brought me to listen to President Trump speak, and it was in Bedminster, and he was speaking to a bunch of Orthodox Jews, and he talked to a group of Orthodox Jews about peace in the Middle East and what he had to say about no more wars and about bringing an end to the conflict in that region, and the way that these people who have been prosecuted and persecuted and harassed for millennia reacted to his plans for peace. I'm Jewish, that was very, very moving to me. And in person, he's very different from the caricature. All of my information about him was filtered through legacy media. He's a fascist, he's a misogynist, he's a racist. I saw someone who was eloquent, articulate, thoughtful, very funny. Not every joke he makes I would have endorsed, but he was talking about, he was serious. He was a serious person talking seriously about peace in the Middle East, about saving lives, innocent lives, Palestinian and Israeli, and how can that not be good? How can we not, cheer that on? I wasn't hearing the same kind of seriousness from Biden-Harris. And also, Biden-Harris suppressed my voice when I was warning women about serious danger to their fertility from the mRNA injection in June of 2021. At a certain point, how do you support the fascists, right? And it's not just that. I'll stop, I promise. But President Trump did something very smart. He aligned himself with a number of luminaries, people who are very thoughtful and serious across the political spectrum. RFK Jr., whom I respect so much, Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk has joined, and he's being more inclusive. His in-person events, in spite of some, missteps by surrogates, which always happens in a campaign, as you said earlier in your press conference, he's speaking out to the concerns of Black people, white people, Puerto Rican people, Hispanic people of all kinds, women, men. It doesn't matter. You guys have become the unity party, and he's leading the unity party. And I would be an idiot if I didn't recognize that.
The only thing I'll add to what you just saw is you're seeing this the day before the election. I can't imagine there are many undecided voters out there. So just take it for what it's worth, I guess. I don't know if it's going to change any votes one way or the other, but I did want you to see that because it has implications, not just possibly for this election, but going forward for the next election, because I think put it this way, well, if the news coverage of Donald Trump had been fair, as I reported in the past, and it was reconfirmed just recently, 85% of the news coverage of Donald Trump in the mainstream media, corporate media, legacy media, has been negative. And one survey I saw showed that 85% of the coverage of Trump has been negative. 85% of the coverage of Kamala Harris has been positive. So who knows what would have happened if we'd had a fair coverage of Donald Trump and of Kamala Harris. But another factor though is a lot of, I think, the votes against Donald Trump are from people, say, never Trumpers, people who agree with him on the issues but just don't like him. So we'll see. I guess we'll know the day after you're watching this how much of a factor this is. Well, we may not know because of all this mail-in voting and early voting, and there was just in Wisconsin, that's one of the swing states, and that's very close according to the polls, and it's showing that one person is already, I don't know, the election commission, a witness has come forward with photographs, with photo evidence of somebody illegal ballot harvesting, stuffing ballots, about estimated up to 300 ballots into one of these drop boxes. I think this that's evidence right there how stupid these drop boxes are, or at least not having. I would want, if you're going to have drop boxes, you really need a security guard, a police officer, somebody right next to that box guarding it all the time. Now, either that, or you put the box inside a post office or some public government building where people can see, where if somebody's doing something wrong, someone in an official capacity would see it, and that would prevent it. So all kinds of, I just have problems now, and we already have this one instance. There have been other instances of ballots being lost. There was in Michigan, I saw it, I'm not going to put it up today. Maybe I'll do it late, earlier. But somebody illegally voted, the same person, 88 times, registered 88 different addresses, and they put up the voter roll. So you see all these votes, and the voter ID number is identical, 85, 88. Different votes, so all kinds of chicanery going on. So you may see a lot of challenges, and I don't know how you sort this all out. It is really terrible. One thing I would hope that we would all, well, unless you're Democrat, you won't agree because you want unlawful aliens to vote, but to come into the country and then vote for Democrats. But I would hope that everybody would support Donald Trump. So when he says voting on the same day, everybody same day voting, paper ballots, voter ID. That makes complete sense to me. And I would even, somebody else suggested, because now we have voting, like the voting tomorrow, the day after you're seeing this. You vote before you go to work or after going to work, or maybe during your lunch hour, and how late will the polls be open? Why not just make Election Day a holiday, a national holiday, so nobody has to work and everybody has all day to vote? It makes so much sense to me. Or have it or move Election Day to a Saturday. That would be a good idea, but well, actually not. I would say make Tuesday a holiday. The reason I'm saying is because if you're, I was going to say not Sunday, because if you're a Christian, you're in church, and yada yada. If you're Jewish, you're in. You may be, well, it's a Sabbath, whether you go to a synagogue or not. If you're very religious, you're not, a religious Jew is not going to go out and vote on a Saturday. And then you have Muslims now these days. They're a factor, for instance, in Michigan. They're not going to go out on a Friday. Friday is their Sabbath. So make Tuesday a national holiday. Let everybody have the day off to vote. Paper ballots, same day voting, and we'll know. They tried mail-in voting in France, and it didn't work. So they went back to paper ballots, and they knew by, I think, 10 o'clock in the last election, 10 o'clock in the evening, they already had the results. Lord knows when we're going to get the results this time. And I guess I'll throw in one other interesting fact, because there's a guy, Mark Halperin, who he has a lot of, he's I don't know his official position, but he's I think he's primarily a Democrat. He's not a pollster. He's an election expert, something like that. And he said that his contacts have been telling him, including Democrats, that the early voting patterns, the way they're going, that if the patterns hold up, that we may even know before, it won't be official, but know before the election who won, because the results would be so many people will have voted early that whatever the voting is on election day, it'll be too late to make any difference. So we'll be having, then there's the question of cannibalization. A lot more Republicans are voting early now, but are these new, what they call low propensity voters, or are these voters who would have voted on election day? So the total amount of votes is the same, it's just that you're getting some of the votes in earlier. So many questions, so many things. This, I guess we'll know more tomorrow on election day. Hopefully, by the end of the day, we'll know, by midnight, we'll know who won. But these days, who knows? It's really, I think it's a shame in the 21st century that we can't know the results the same night. And it always used to be that way until COVID, and our friends on the left used COVID to start instituting all this mail-in voting and the drop boxes and all these things. And number one, you get much more mischief, chicanery. Oh, and did I mention news story? Maybe you read it. A couple of pro-Hamas or Hamas supporters, Israel haters, whatever. I think it was the same person, but put incendiary devices in 2 drop boxes and had fires in both of those boxes, destroyed a bunch of ballots, I think. I hope they're recoverable. Some of them not completely destroyed, but who knows? So it's really a shame. I just had to get to that. I guess I'm rambling now, as I often do. But if you stuck along this far, thanks for sticking with me this far. This is it. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Comments always welcome in the comments section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.